We have been working on this for months. This is the finals of the GeekWire Elevator Pitch startup competition presented by Smartsheet. So let's hear it for these finalists. Woo. That's right. We started this partnership with Smartsheet several months ago with this crazy idea. Let's have a startup pitch competition, but let's put people in an elevator at the Smith Tower and the Space Needle and see if they can pitch their business concepts in the 50 seconds or less it takes to get to the top. So what you're going to see today is the finals of this competition that we started months ago with 8 of the finalists who have advanced out of their groups. And to give you a little bit more of a sense of what this is like, let's take a look at the video.
Some startups go up, others go down. Welcome to GeekWire's Elevator Pitch, presented by Smartsheet. 27 entrepreneurs competed in this unique startup competition over the past 9 months, pitching their groundbreaking ideas on the way to the top of Seattle's Smith Tower and Space Needle. Now, with 8 finalists remaining, operating in areas as diverse as artificial intelligence, health tech, and real estate, we'll finally crown the winner. The clock is ticking. Jump on board with us for the final ride of the elevator pitch.
All right, here we go. So we started with 27 entrepreneurs across 9 episodes, and today we are truly going to decide who makes it to the top. We're not in an actual elevator, we're here on the GeekWire Summit stage, but nonetheless, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. And this is where you can get involved. You can have some fun here too. Make sure you've installed the app, the GeekWire Events app, and you can vote at the end of the 8 presenters today on which pitch you thought was the best. That will be our Geeks Choice winner, which we'll announce at the end of this session. So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to bring up each of the finalists. They're going to pitch for their 48 seconds. We're going to go through them rapid fire. And then after that, our judges, our esteemed judging panel, will pick a 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place. And then we'll turn it to you for that Geek's Choice. So let's meet our judges. T.A. McCann, a serial software entrepreneur, professional sailor, and managing director of Pioneer Square Labs, who sold his last company to Google. Yes, T.A., come on up. Heather Redmond, the power broker and former Getty Images executive who cuts deals as managing director of Flying Fish Partners. Chris Blessington, the marketing whiz who has helped grow Smartsheet into one of Seattle's next tech titans. And Richard Tate, the motorcycle riding Scotsman who stirs up new ideas inside of Starbucks. Welcome, all of you, for being here. Yes, many of these folks have been judges with us through many of the episodes, so have seen some of these pitches, and we're going to now pick the winner. You guys excited?
Absolutely.
All right, Richard, you ready? All right, Richard's always got the energy here. That's great. So we're going to jump right into it. Our first presenter is Kwame Bowler, the founder and CEO of New. Kwame, come on up. All right, Kwame, good luck.
Thanks, John. Picture this. You're an Airbnb host with a second home downtown. Well, it's 11 o'clock and your guests just checked out, and like a hotel, you're gonna have to make sure that the place is clean, the linen's washed, and the toiletries restocked. A little difficult to do before 4 if you happen to work a 9 to 5, and that's where we come in. So New is a marketplace that connects Airbnb hosts with local cleaners. Through use of tech and ops, we route cleaners direct to the host doorsteps right after the guest checks out and before the next guest checks in. To date, we've handled over 2,500 cleans and have been in over 100 homes in effort of conquering this $10 billion problem. Our secret sauce is the linens and supplies. We pre-package backpacks catered specifically to each of the hosts that we service to avoid the cleaner's need to have to do laundry on site. This allows them to do more jobs in less time to earn more. The world's largest hotel chain lacks a cleaning solution to match its growth, at least not until now.
Hey, Kwame. Yes, let's hear it for Kwame, winner of the first episode of the elevator pitch and the Space Needle. And next up, it is Samir Manjure, CEO of Kensai. Let's hear it for Samir.
Imagine if you can predict who is going to get sick and how sick are they going to get. If you can predict, you can potentially prevent. Kensai platform ingests various kinds of healthcare data about the patient, labs, vitals, encounter history, and predicts those kinds of adverse events. These insights are available to the doctors and caregivers so that they can proactively shoot for better patient outcomes and reduce the cost. We are just 2.5 years old, and have grown significantly. We have operations in US as well as Europe and Asia Pacific. This is a very noble mission where we are looking for folks who want to be part of this and join our team as we fight death with data science. Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for Samir, winner of episode 2 at the GeekWire Elevator Pitch. He was the CEO of Kensai. And next up is episode number 3 winner, Erin Rothman, the CEO of Storm Sensor. Come on up, Erin. Welcome. Thank you.
Every year, 32 trillion gallons of stormwater runoff pours onto our streets, parking lots, and roofs. As it flows through our city's streets, it picks up pathogens and pollutants, overflows sewers, and contaminates our waterways. And yet we have no idea how this water moves through the millions of miles of old and overworked pipes beneath our streets until it's too late. Storm Sensor fixes that. Our network of sensors monitors temperature and flow of water as it moves through these systems, and it sends that data to our web app every 10 minutes. Cities receive insights and notifications, letting them know how their systems are functioning and where their priorities lie. Our sensors are free. Our customers pay a price for the data and the analytics on a monthly basis. My name is Erin Rothman. I'm the CEO of Storm Sensor, and I'm very excited to create a world where we can look around and understand the quality of our water now and into the future. Thank you.
Erin, you did it. Congrats. Awesome. Next up, we have Cassie Wallander, the co-founder of Invio. She was the winner of our health tech episode. Come on up, Cassie.
Clinical trials are critical for getting new medicines to patients. But getting the necessary data quality and safety requirements is a manual and labor-intensive process. This causes delays, a big chunk of a painful $45 billion spent every year, and life-threatening mistakes. Invio moves research from a paper-based process to using machine learning to gain never-before insights. Through digitization, simplification, and automation, we make trials faster, more cost-effective, and safer. We're already in use in top-tier institutions like Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. This is a huge market opportunity across 14,000 clinical trials and an opportunity to improve healthcare options for all.
All right, Cassie, congrats. Yeah, let's hear it for Cassie. Wonderful. Next up is Dan Greenshields, the CEO of Jet Closing. He was the winner of the real estate episode at the GeekWire Elevator Pitch.
How many of you have ever bought a house? It was probably the process was opaque, confusing, cumbersome. Well, that's the problem Jet Closing is here to solve. The US real estate market does 6 million transactions a year, 20 billion in revenue for closing companies. Our product is 100% cloud-based, delivered direct to mobile first. Our product will pay brokers commissions in 60 minutes after recording. We are a flat fee. Nobody in the market is that. We deliver to your phone 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 30 seconds, a property report, preliminary title. Our revenue is growing rapidly. We're growing 50% month to month. We're going to end this year at about an $8 to $10 million run rate. My name is Dan Greenshields. Jet Closing is here to make the closing process transparent, simple for the most important transaction of most people's lives.
All right, Dan. Good stuff. Good stuff. Next up is Boaz Ashkenazy, the CEO of Simply Augmented. Boaz was the winner of our AR VR episode. Welcome, Boaz.
Thank you. I'm Boaz Ashkenazy, and I'm the CEO of Simply Augmented. And we're using augmented reality to improve the effectiveness of enterprise sales reps, specifically in industries where physical products are expensive and time-consuming to demo. So sales executives consistently complain to us about the lack of product availability and the high cost of producing physical mock-ups. We solve these issues, and we improve customer engagement and accelerate the sales cycle by using AR to enable prospects to visualize products in their environment in real time. We launched in 2018, and already our enterprise sales platform is in use by 2 of the largest furniture manufacturers in the world, Herman Miller and Hayworth. I'm Boaz Ashkenazy. We're Simply Augmented, the leader in augmented selling.
All right, thanks, Boaz. Thank you, Boaz. As we speed through, our last contestant is Samaritan CEO Jonathan Kumar. Come on up, Jonathan.
This one's easy. Step outside the hotel right now, and you'll see that homelessness is one of the greatest issues of our time. Cities, healthcare systems, and business owners are spending hundreds of millions of dollars per year combating it, and we're losing. Samaritan provides free, incredible digital wallets designed for people without a home, connecting them to simple financial capital and relational guidance needed to leave the street. Our pilot here in Seattle has helped over 25 individuals already leave the street, saving the city an estimated $500,000 a year and earning our first $100,000 in revenue. Our vision is to help people without a home in 99 more cities in the next 5 years, and we'd love to have you join us.
Thanks, Jonathan. That's Jonathan from Samaritan. And finally, next up, we hear from Energos CEO Salva Agafonov.
Have you ever thought about how many batteries surround us and how big companies like Tesla and Samsung are testing these batteries and analyzing data in them? EnerSoft is a software analytics platform for energy storage. Unlike Tableau, we analyze energy storage and batteries. Our advisors from NASA are helping us to do predictive analytics on these batteries and predict performance and lifetime of these batteries, predict problems with them. Our customers like Microsoft using this software to test laptops and to help to predict performance of your devices. We received grant from Amazon, and we're raising $1 million seed round to expand our software to the markets in China and Japan and Germany. Thank you.
All right, Slava. Great stuff. Thank you so much. Now, next step on this, we are going to let our judges huddle and confer. It's a hard choice, isn't it? Yes. Now, Richard, TA, Heather, you sat through a lot of these episodes. Chris, you're hearing many of these for the first time today. What makes a good pitch?
Clarity, consistency, where you understand all the different aspects of the business in a very short amount of time.
Yeah. Chris has got a comment there.
Passion.
Good. Richard, thoughts?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Passion for your business and believe in the idea.
All right. Heather, what makes a great pitch?
Oh, I get 2 microphones. That's good. You know, I think at the end of the day, the business also has to matter. And it can matter either to other businesses, it can matter to consumers, it can matter to the world, but it has to really move the needle in a meaningful way. So when we're listening to these, we're listening for that conviction from the entrepreneur, an understanding of that market, but also a sense where we can really get behind that idea and believe in it.
Great stuff. Well, I'm going to let you huddle here, confer. You've got a hard job. You're picking 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place. You just heard some advice from our judges about what it takes to make a great pitch. So I want you to take that information now and go to the app. Make sure you're voting for your favorite pitch of the 8 finalists we had here today on the elevator pitch stage. And with that, I also want to bring up all of our entrepreneurs, and let's give them a really loud GeekWire Summit. Thank you and welcome. This is not easy, folks. Let's bring them all back up. Come on back up. And we're going to talk a little bit while the judges confer. We got a little bit of time. Everyone can sit down here, just spread out a little bit, hang out. Someone take advantage of the cozy couch. This was an interesting experience. Kwame, you're right next to me here. So you did something very interesting when you pitched in the first episode of the Smith Tower. And I actually think you pulled it off this morning, too. What was your special sauce that got you into the winner's circle here to begin with?
Space Needle.
That's right.
And practice. Honestly, I did the one thing that most people didn't think to do. I just actually practiced on the elevator. So.
Kwame, let me elaborate a little bit there. Kwame showed up 2 days before or 3 days before and was taking consecutive rides up and down the Space Needle elevator, mumbling to himself his pitch, and I think they almost kicked you off at one point. But then somebody recognized you from a TV show you were on or something, or an episode. What was that all about?
The night before, I got featured by KCTS9 for another segment that I was in called Pitch Black, and the operator on the elevator recognized me, and because of that, she was like, "Oh, yeah, you know, the Airbnb cleaning guy." I was like, "Yeah."
That's cool. So who else has thoughts about what it was like in terms of pitching inside an elevator? Terrifying. Cassie, yes, what was it like? Really, give the insight. This is like the behind-the-scenes part of the elevator pitch.
It gave me a new fear of elevators, a phobia I didn't have previously. Not only was the pressure on, but my ear was plugged from sinusitis, and as soon as the elevator started, I was feeling good, and the elevator started, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in terrible pain. Yeah. It was awful.
Okay. Have you recovered from your fear of elevators or not? Or
not quite.
Permanently traumatized you?
Permanently.
That's great. And yeah, Jonathan, why don't you say a few things about your experience in the elevator?
I wish I would have done what you did. I didn't account for the acceleration upwards. I almost passed out. We had to do like 4 different takes to film it. And so by that 4th take, I'm just kind of mumbling through my words, but somehow I made it through.
Jonathan, did you notice he was one of the last ones to pitch, but he pulled the mic off the stand. He owned it. He owned it. I thought that was really impressive.
He did. Yeah.
By the way, I want to point out, so to vote, you go to the app, you go to polls and questions, and then look for Geeks Choice. That is where you find it in the app, if anybody's having any problems with that.
That's great. Tell us what it's been like just building a startup in the Seattle area. All of you, eight entrepreneurs across a wide array of areas. Give us, Slava, your experience on building a company here in the Seattle area.
I would like to say a big thank you to all our partners and Small Battery Labs who actually helped us to test our software and provided some guidance. Polaris Battery Labs in Oregon, they were tremendous help for our software when we started it. And all companies, like even Microsoft and bigger ones, they, always really helpful with startups. They understand how challenging this can be and how important this problem for clean environment and clean energy is on our planet. So everyone is trying to be really nice, and they help smaller companies.
Yeah, Erin, you're also operating in kind of the clean tech space with an environmental product. How have you found building your company here in Seattle with a product that's maybe not traditional software, traditional type of company that you see out of the startup ranks in Seattle?
Well, to start, we're not building a game, despite what initial investors asked us to do.
Building a game? Wait a minute.
Why don't you change it into a game?
I guess you could have been Pokemon Go.
We could have, but it's not our passion. I'm very proud now that when we started, stormwater wasn't really a thing that anyone talked about, and I feel like having pitched as many times as I have and gone through this whole process with all of these amazing people in this town, that now it is a conversation, especially with the hurricanes and everything that we're dealing with. It's really amazing to be a part of a solution that we can build, and to have the teams around us and the investors behind us to help make this happen has been extraordinary. And worst case, if I'm having a really bad day, I call a customer and they inspire me to keep going. So I'm very lucky.
Boaz, I want to ask you just a quick question about building in the AR, VR space here. Are you finding that this is a hotbed for that arena?
Yeah, I'm actually amazed at, especially in the enterprise AR space, that there's a lot of support, mentorship, and a lot of excitement and activity in this town. So we typically think about the Bay Area being where all the action is, but I've been pretty impressed with what's happening in Seattle in that space.
Yeah, great. And speaking of the Bay Area, Dan, I think you moved up from California, didn't you? Or you moved here from New York. I knew you were a transplant. How have you found the welcoming, or maybe not so welcoming, Seattle freeze?
I think it's actually warmed up quite a bit because it's gotten a lot better. The city's a lot bigger. I mean, just the last 10 years. I moved here in 2000, and it's got the 3 ingredients: world-class research university, several of them actually, lots of startup capital, which it probably didn't have 15 years ago, from people doing really well at some large companies around here, and lots of talent. And so everybody in this audience, there's lots of opportunity. It's not quite the size of the Bay Area, but it's getting close.
Cool. And Samir, I want to finish up with you. You're in a hot space, AI and healthcare. How are you navigating that? Because there is a lot of buzz, a lot of energy in this market. It's leading to investment capital. I know you have some great investment backers, maybe some more after your pitch here today. Talk about AI and healthcare, why that's a hot area right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be in healthcare AI, in general in AI ML, Seattle is such an amazing place to be. And we started just 2.5 years ago, and we are so blessed to be in this startup community where people have just come and helped us in every stage of our journey. Whether it is Microsoft, whether it is other larger entities around Ignition, which funded our Series A, and just entrepreneurs, such a tightly knit community. The most important thing that I would say that has been, I've been very touched with is we are a very social impact-driven company and a mission-driven company, and people have just come out and helped us so selflessly, connected us to the right folks, and done everything possible, just very, very selfless, and super indebted to the Seattle community for that. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Samir. I think we're ready. Judges, are we ready over here? We are ready. Has everyone voted? Everyone has voted. Does everyone want to find this out? Does everyone really want to find out the winner? Come on. All right.
I do.
Who is up? Who is going to do the honors here from the judges? Third place winner?
We are going to start with me. But before we start that, I did want to just say that this has been a tremendous experience for all of us. I mean, we started not knowing what we were doing either, and we've learned with you, and John and crew, you guys have been amazing to work with. But this listening just to you in the last few minutes and talking about what you're doing with your businesses, what you think about this town, what you think about the talent here, the industries that we're building, I just think that's intensely inspiring. So I want to thank all of you for spending the time putting yourselves in those tiny little elevators, cramming yourselves into 48 seconds. I mean, this has been a true leap of faith by you, but what you have done for the community by being the first group who's gone through this process is just incredible. So thank you. You encourage me. You really encourage me.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to talk a little abstractly just to keep the suspense going a little bit longer. But the entrepreneur who is winning third place, and these guys believe, they already won their division. So these are the winners of the winners. So we're talking about really heady competition here. But this particular entrepreneur has been rock solid. This is a person that I would let lead me into battle. I mean, the steadiness throughout the entire process, nerves of steel, the conviction that comes from having been a customer, having walked in the shoes of the customers that he now serves, the size of the business that he's trying to address, the team that he's built are just amazing and impressive, and I really look forward to seeing what's next with the business. So the third prize goes to Kwame Bowler, CEO of
Kwame.
New.
Congrats to Kwame. Kwame. What else, let's just keep going with that. What else stood out to the other judges about the new business and Kwame's pitch?
I love the adjacency to a very fast-growing market. So capitalizing on that flywheel and being a part of that growth of that industry, I thought was really smart. And great kicks.
Yeah, I was going to go with the kicks too. But I think it's so measured and calm. Like, I have confidence in you running this business, and confidence is such an important part in someone we want to follow and lead.
Cool. Ties into that passion thing that Chris was mentioning. Definitely there. So congrats, Kwame. You've got a prize package coming your way from the Space Needle. You'll be going back to your favorite spot. You can practice some more. Didn't that work out perfectly? All right. Next up, second place. Who do we have?
For our second place, I actually teach at University of Washington Entrepreneurial Influence, which is all about pitching and telling your story. So it's been really inspiring to watch all of you guys do it throughout the whole process. As an entrepreneur in Seattle, I also want to just thank GeekWire for what you guys have done for the community.
Well, thank you. This is the fun stuff.
This is the fun stuff. And this has been a really fun experience, I think, for all of us. So also, thank you for Smartsheet for stepping up and making it all happen for us.
Yeah.
It's great.
Thank you.
Now, for the second place. As I mentioned, when you asked me about what do we think is really important is sort of this confidence and clarity about what the business is, what it does, where it's going, where it is at this moment in time, and somebody who holds presence on the stage, somebody that you understand and you can sort of follow. And for that, the second place goes to Erin from Storm Sensor.
Erin Rothman. Yes, Erin. Congratulations, Erin. Cool. What else stood out about the Storm Sensor business or Erin's pitch?
these infrastructure businesses, they are such great ways to make a huge difference in the world, but also make great money. And I think Erin is really onto something. I mean, this is a huge market. It is really needed. She is selling into climate change, which is a huge issue that we're all going to be confronting for some time. So her business is absolutely essential. It's not an optional purchase. You've got, every city is going to need to have this worldwide, and so I think she's going to build an incredible business that will probably extend to many other market segments as well as she thinks it through.
And one of the potential challenges I remember coming up in the episode was just selling into city governments. I think that was one of the concerns. Richard, any advice or tips for Erin as she thinks more about that?
Yeah, we talked a lot about that in the episode, was just the length of the sales cycle. And you did a great job of identifying which municipalities were going to be the ones that were going to be early adopters. So I think that prioritization is the right approach.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, I think the time is here, correct, for the first place winner. We are so excited to have Chris Blessington here from Smartsheet. Chris, what is the, oh, by the way, you've won a Smith Tower prize package. That'll be coming your way before I forget. Not the whole, you didn't get the whole building, sorry, yes. But Chris, why don't you tell us what is up for grabs for our first place winner, the winner of the elevator pitch?
You mean aside from the glory?
Aside from the glory, I know.
So just to start out with a couple things that folks have already said, GeekWire is so important to this community. Smartsheet's a business that's gone through a number of evolutions over a fair, we're a 13-year overnight success story. And we've watched as the importance of John and everyone's work in the tech community has risen and become more and more important. And so I'm likely to, so the prizes, excuse me.
Yes,
so
prizes.
Recognizing that
screw all that crap, Chris. Let's get to the prizes.
Sorry. Startups are widely varying things. And we wanted to recognize that growing a startup, being able to manage a startup is an important thing. So that's a lot of what Smartsheet does. We help businesses grow and execute their work most effectively. So for whichever of you is the winner, in fact, I would offer that for all of you, we were happy to offer licenses in perpetuity for Smartsheet. So that's for all of you. For the winner, you'll get a much larger package that includes a fair amount of solutions help as well to be able to build a process that helps you scale your business. So in addition, and recognizing that startups are funny things, and can take many different forms and different parts in their as they evolve through their maturity. Some have office space, some don't. Some are playful, some aren't. So we wanted to offer some options. So for the winner, if they don't have an office space, we're going to fund a year's worth of WeWork space for them. If they do, having a place to do good work is important. If they do have an office, we're going to recognize that a trope of startups is you have to have either a foosball table or a ping pong table. So for the winner, you can choose either to have an office via WeWork, or if you have an office, you can choose some fun for that office. So we wanted to have a little fun with that. So congratulations to all of you. Is it time?
I think it is time. Chris, who do we have? So I'm on pins and needles here.
I am not nearly as sophisticated at this as Heather and TA and everybody are. So I'm pretty much going to tip as I explain. So tech is having a tremendous impact on our communities, right? Industry is having a tremendous impact on our communities. We've seen that here locally. I mean, the incredible animus around the head tax issue, and the Seattle City Council decided to pursue that issue. The fact that there are tech organizations banding together to try and do good for the challenges that can be created when industry has an impact on the communities has led to a number of things surfacing. So as you sit up here and you think about who gave the best pitch, which business has the best potential to actually have an impact on the world, I think we all agreed that Jonathan and his company
Samaritan. Wow, Jonathan Kumar of Samaritan. Correct. Congrats. All right, Jonathan. All right. Sounds like there's an investor meeting that's already been set up here.
Yeah, and in addition to that fancy trophy, everybody's striving to be a unicorn, so we'd love to offer you a unicorn as inspiration.
That's great. Thank you. Jonathan, let me just ask you a couple things. How are you feeling?
Surprised.
Yes.
Shocked. Yeah. I mean, just the attention that you guys have given to a space that is traditionally not addressed by social enterprises or companies. Yeah, I'm shocked. So really appreciate your guys' insight and the wisdom that's to come from hopefully each of you.
That's great. Well, I think we all agree that we all want Jonathan Kumar's company to be successful because we all recognize the challenge that he's tackling. So we wish you the very best. Congrats on all of this prize package you're walking away with. Also, a big thanks to Smartsheet and all of our judges for being here today and being a part of this. But we still have one housekeeping item left. It is time for our Geeks Choice winner. So if you have, we have it here. Geeks Choice. Let's see, who's smarter, the judges or the audience? Wisdom of the crowds. We shall see. So the Geeks Choice winner goes to, and they have won 8 passes to the upcoming GeekWire Gala, December 6th at the Showbox. Kwame Bowler, takes home the Geeks Choice Award. Kwame, congrats. Congrats to you. Awesome, wonderful stuff. Any final comments, remarks from the judges about just the pitches and what you heard and the variety of industries that you got to see throughout the process?
I would just say for all you entrepreneurs out there, it's so difficult to continue to think about the different lengths of your pitches. A difference between meeting somebody at a cocktail party and getting it done in 15 or 20 seconds to 50 seconds to a minute to 5 minutes to 30 minutes, and the ability to adapt the pitch of what's most important was really impressive to see all these entrepreneurs do that.
So, John, has anybody heard the Mark Twain phrase that I didn't have time to write you a short letter, so I wrote you a long one instead? 48 seconds is an instant when you're standing here, so unbelievably well done. I mean, clarity and purpose expressed.
Let's have a big round of applause, absolutely. This is not easy to do, folks. I actually gave it a try on the first episode. Our great crew that filmed these episodes for us, they needed a test run. And so they said, oh, John, go up and pitch GeekWire up the, and I'm afraid of heights anyway. And so I'm going up there, and I'm like, this is hard to do. I was struggling with it. So really, hats off to all of the entrepreneurs for winning your episodes, for being here at the GeekWire Summit. Let's have one other big round of applause for them. Thank you.
That's a wrap for Season 1 of the GeekWire Elevator Pitch. Follow us on GeekWire.com or on Twitter @GeekWire.